College of Arts and Law. Wednesday, 8th of July, 2026, 10 a.m. Today, we're coming to you from the grand halls of the University of Birmingham, an institution steeped in discovery and research since 1900. The University of Birmingham was the UK's first civic university, a place designed for everyone, not just the privileged few. Every one of our graduands today is part of that proud tradition of learning and achievement. Degree congregations at the University of Birmingham date back to 1901 and are held here in the Great Hall, right at the heart of our Edgbaston campus. Attended by nearly 30,000 graduates and guests each year, these events are the highlight of the university calendar and represent for many students the conclusion of their studies at Birmingham. Originally built as a cathedral to learning, the Great Hall never fails to impress our visitors. The building is Grade 2 listed, and it's really the details that make the space so special. It features a trompe-l'oeil domed ceiling located above its formal marble entrance. The entrance is bordered by archways that are designed to draw the eye towards the centre of the room. The music you can hear is being performed by our very own student musicians. They often perform versions of modern pop hits or songs with a Birmingham connection. As our graduands wait for the ceremony to start, this is a time for them to reflect on how far they've come. They may think back to the first lecture they attended in a packed lecture hall, making friendships that will last a lifetime. Maybe they're thinking back to their first eureka moment, when their chosen field of study finally clicked into place. Or perhaps they're thinking about late-night debates in the guild, that group project that pushed them to their limits. or the spark of inspiration when they saw their research was really making an impact. Today, they close one chapter and open another. A degree from the University of Birmingham is more than just a name on a certificate. Our graduates are recognised by employers for their resilience, creativity, and dedication. Soon, they'll find many exciting opportunities waiting for them. Shout out to the staff, students and volunteers who have made this special day possible. We couldn't have done it without you. Also, a reminder to share your photos from today on social media. Make sure to tag our accounts so we can engage with your moment. The audience is a mixture of graduands who sit in the back of the hall and their loved ones who are seated near the stage. During the ceremony, the graduands will make their way up to the stage, accept their scroll, and be applauded by their families and fellow students. In the sea of formal robes in the ceremony, attendees may spot black gowns, red and green gowns, and possibly some other eye-catching colours. The black robes are worn by those graduating with their bachelor's and master's. Green and red robes are for those picking up a doctorate degree. To the families, friends and supporters watching from home today, your encouragement, pep talks and well-timed cups of tea have helped our graduates reach this day. Let's take a moment to appreciate the parents who still don't quite understand what their child studied but are immensely proud regardless. Well done, everyone. You've earned this celebration. Soon, our ceremony will begin. There's a degree of pomp and circumstance to the day that echoes back through the years. These rituals connect our graduands today to students from the very first British universities formed in the 13th century. This procession isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. It's the university's way of honouring the past, affirming the authority of scholarship, and marking the threshold our graduands are about to cross. Now it's time for the procession to start. Senior academics of the university are led into the Great Hall by 2 mace bearers and will sit on stage throughout the ceremony. There is a mace bearer at the front of the line and one at the back. The latter is called the Esquire Bedell. Both carry large silver maces that they put down on stage. This is a ceremonial kick-off to the day. The mace bearers are usually staff members from the university who have volunteered to take part. Row by row, the procession makes its way up to the stage, passing proud faces in the congregation. Students in mortarboards, parents wiping away tears, tutors exchanging proud glances. A senior member of the university, such as the Chancellor or a Provost, will be the last to take their place. They'll stand before the attendees and declare the congregation open.
Good morning, everyone. I declare the congregation open.
Welcome to our absolutely fabulous Great Hall here at the University of Birmingham. My name is Helen Abbott, and I am the Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of this College of Arts and Law. It's a huge pleasure to welcome you all to Birmingham today for our graduation ceremony of our Birmingham Law School graduates. So to our graduates at the back, and to family and friends and supporters here at the front, thank you for being here so we can share in this very special occasion together. Now, today is all about celebration, not only of your academic success, but also of your commitment, your perseverance, and your personal growth. As members of the College of Arts and Law graduates, you've spent your time immersed in your discipline, sometimes a pair of disciplines, exploring ideas, interrogating perspectives, and learning deeply how to question, to interpret, and to articulate your understanding of our extremely messy and busy world with clarity and with conviction. You've delved into all kinds of regulatory contexts, competing jurisdictions and commercial imperatives throughout your law degree. And it's setting you up for a fascinating career with and beyond the law. Now, your journey here might not have been straightforward, because achievement at this level very rarely is. It's earned through effort and the willingness to learn from what doesn't go to plan. You'll have encountered demanding assessments, complex ideas, and those moments where the next steps just weren't immediately clear. But each time you found a way through, thinking carefully, working purposefully, and supporting one another. I've loved seeing so many of you in little huddles right around some of our wonderful study spaces, grappling with some of the questions you've been trying to answer. You've built not only knowledge, but also your character and your confidence too. I might be miles off from you right now, but I can see it in your faces, how proud you are of yourselves, and rightly so. Now, many of you will be leaving formal education behind after today, readying yourselves to dive into what some people call the real world, but we all know we're living in the real world here too. But I urge you not to lose that spark of curiosity that you've nurtured during your studies here. Keep listening to that voice which says, is there more to this than meets the eye? Keep asking the why, the how, and the what if. Because, of course, yes, universities are esteemed places of learning, but they're also very special places where people with all kinds of differing beliefs, languages, customs, interests, personalities meet, we come together, we exchange perspectives and forge meaningful connections. You must absolutely treasure those relationships. There are people I met when I was at university some decades ago who are not only my closest friends still today, but they're also my phone a friend for when I have a question about something they are much more expertly qualified to answer than me. So whether it's through LinkedIn or other social platforms or coming to one of our alumni gatherings, you will be able to stay connected with your own phone a friend networks. They really do matter. And make sure you stay in touch with us too, your academic tutors, your lecturers, your professors, your student support teams, many of whom have managed to join me on the stage here today. Because we end up using each other's knowledge in all sorts of meaningful ways. It might be a quick message here, a quick Teams or email exchange there. Sometimes it happens many years after you've graduated. I know my colleagues behind me will be nodding away at those former students who've been in touch and with whom we maintain those very, very strong connections. It really matters because that's how we at the University of Birmingham do things. You're very much one of us. So could I ask you, graduates at the back of the hall, to perhaps join me in thanking those people who've nurtured your intellectual curiosity, your creativity, and inspired you to keep going throughout your degree studies here with us. Will you join me in thanking our academics? We're not done clapping yet. There's going to be quite a lot more of it over the next hour and a bit. Because in front of me as well, and tuning in from all corners of the globe, are your friends, your family, your supporters, who are so proud of everything you've achieved. And you've all got that person who's believed in you, those people who've supported you, showed you kindness, and without whom you wouldn't be here today. So can I ask you once again, graduates, and my colleagues behind me, to join me in a round of applause to thank the people here in front of me. So it's about to happen. Very, very soon, you're going to be coming up onto this stage, and the Chancellor, Sandy Okoro, herself, a Birmingham Law graduate, will be admitting you to your degree. And this is very much your moment. When your name is read out, that will be your graduation. And so, family and friends here at the front, that's also your cue to make a hell of a lot of noise. Whoops, cheers, whistles, get the cameras out, whatever you need to do to mark that moment of celebration with whoever you're here to support today. So a final quick word to our graduating cohort. Take care on the steps. They're really not as scary as they look. Try and remember to go back down the middle, but if you don't, someone will guide you. But most importantly, give a huge big smile for the cameras and don't forget to savour your moment. Thank you.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands walk across the stage to collect their scroll from the presiding officer.
My name is Rilke Dragneva-Luers, and I'm Professor of International Legal Studies and Dean of Birmingham Law School. Chancellor, to you and to the University, I present the names of these graduates as listed in my program proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in their absence, to the degree for which they are to be presented.
College of Arts and Law, Birmingham Law School, Doctor of Philosophy, for research into the capacity of laws in Nigeria on e-waste regulation, Martha Ogene Ovowero Ikhomena. For research into the impact of delayed legal reform on mental capacity law and professional practice, Alex Cisneros. For research into the point-of-sale sustainability disclosure supported by regulation and digital tools as a tool to remedy information asymmetry with regards to critical material, Ursula Barbara Clark. Master of Laws, Environmental and Energy Law, Salim Ahmed Al-Sinawi. Carla Galea. Intellectual Property Law, Athira Ajay. International Disputes, Anisha Susan Bernhardt. Law, Data and Technology, Amrita Kaur. Bachelor of Laws, International Law and Globalization, Nijat Alakbarov. Tawfiq Alam. Balsulu Baltabekova. Mirab Gulam. Hannah Akini Kariuki. Poppy Louise Nagy. International Law and Globalization with Ear Abroad, Sam Ameri. Law with Business Studies, Adenike Oluwafi Kunolami Adebayo. Zaina Ahmed. Sahir Ali. Lulwa Adel Abdul Qadir Al Mansouri. Shahad Yusuf Ibrahim Al-Zamkan. Hussein Quresh Barrister. Vedant Bhatia. Tristan Donsi. Grace Drummond. Nicholas Harter. Sarah Iqbal. Navjot Kaur. Yanet Haptap Kiflay. Pak Ho Kong. Law with Criminology. Christina Isabel Balanza Davis. Madison Betten. Nam Scarlett Chu. Eleanor Denton. Faith Tamaratare Fitimi. Megan Henderson. Amira Hughes. Morenikeji Isikalu. Sumaya Kader. Alia Hanam. Law with French law. Amna Mutlaq Hassan Abdullah Salman Al-Mutawa. Alicia Attersmith. Sanjana Bengani. Erin Bila. Elaine Chatelaine Watt. Jack Davis. Mulay Wahid Idrisi Wagak. Law with ear abroad. Amita Abubakar. Kayla Adams. Donovan Sean Campbell. Katie Dexter. Olisei Kachagwa. Danielle Hall. Abdirahman Hussein. Law with ear in AI and computer science, Connor Addis. Law with ear in business law, Naomi Bereket. Maria Ilahi. Aditi Badu. Law with ear in psychology, Jasmine Brar. LLB Law, Clinton Abbots. Myrna Mohammed Ahmed Abdel Salam Abdallah. Aisha Abdel Rahim. Femisola Deborah Adebi. Deborah Adeduan. Queen Elizabeth Ajibutulugwase Adifigbe. Oluwatobi Adisa. Lauren Agulobi. Fatima Ahmed. Mariam Ahmed. Rawesh Ahmed. Oluwadamilola Mary Ajibade. Imania Akbar. Mikael Akhtar. Ragat Salim Ali Al-Hasni. Rayan Alam. Habiba Ali. Jasmine Ali. Sarosha Ali. Selena Ali. Nawal Abdul Rahman Aliyu. Grace Allwood. Aryan Zachary Alston. Crystal Amanda Akini Amba. Hannah Azwa binti Aminuddin. Vanessa Ankoma. Ramisa Ansa. Maisie Anstey. Mohammed Atif Ibn Ashfaq. Thomas Atkin. Heima Atwal. Aseoluwa Mofifoluwa Awodero. Naya Badr. Priya Ko Bagri. Camelia binti Bahaman. Safina Baig. Evie Louise Bailey. Kabir Bal. Megan Ball. Gurpreet Bansal. Olivia Barton. Marjan Barukzai. Aman Bashir Khalid. Natasha Bassett. Benjamin Beidas. Dario Belay. Maya Benjamin. Chioma Bennett. Dilraj Singh Bandal. Kira Basin. Sidra Bibi. Mohammed Al-Fahad bin Mohammed Latif. Maisara binti Ahmad Shakir. Noor Irdina binti Kamarudin. Nurafika binti Muhammad Azrin. Muhammad Omar Bita. Isabella Booth. Lola Booth. Abigail Boyd. Bonita Ko Breich-Baines. George Brayshaw. Palvin Bring. Megan Burton Brown. Cassia Biles. Shannon Byrne. Michael Alexandro Carale. Dylan Katak. Christine Serra. Ryan Chambers. Kirandeep Kaur Chawla. Hannah Hoylam Chung. Linta Chaya. Brandon Chiwaza. Xining Cheng. Alishan Chowdhury. Huiyi Chua. Cariat Church. Thomas Clark. Holly Craddock. Charlotte Cross. Alejandro Cubillo. Nina Cullen. Aaron Cusack. Samar Yasser Salahuddin Darwish. Nikita Das. Shayana Dattani. Luke Davis. Anya Kiran Kaur Dayal. Olivia Maria de Matas Villagomez. Ana de Rosa. Kira Demiri. Manya Devgan. Simran Kaur Dudley. Amanpreet Kaur Dak. Jasveer Darawal. Priya Desi. Veera Puneet Kaur Dillon. Nikisha Rani Dot. Vanessa Rosana Diaz Passarelli. Eva Donchiva. Chan Deng. Brooke Dowding. Lucy Duffy. Beatrice Tumpoya. Barbara Dinos. Abigail Kate Eastwood. Abigail Edge. Mia Elmas. Kashaf Imal. Teresa Ogenetejiri Enemoa. Ifeoma Enujuba. Rachel Evans. Aliyah Fahim. Farouk Fahimunisa. Dylan Ferrio. Olawoluwa Fisher. Cayman Flynn. Margot Franken. Zhiyang Gao. Barlene Garcha. Alice Catherine Wilkinson Goff. Ginny Gracie Thomas. Fionn Greenhoff. Harleen Ko Gruwal. Toby Greer. Ridhima Gupta. Ella Harris. Noura Hashimi. Ibrahim Ahmed Ibrahim Mohammed Hassan. Alicia Hayat. Ben Haycock. Isabella Henrik. Charlotte Jane Henry. Isabel Hayden. Philippa Holland. Elizabeth Holly. William Hopwood. Farbin Samhat Hok. Maisie Hunt. Malaika Hussein. Stephen Ikumobasin. Charlotte Inman. Olivia Innes. Karima Islam. Waqas Islam. Noor Ismail, Alvin Jacob, Akshita Jain, Kurmal Jan, Yeva Jankauskaite, Anisa Javed, Alex Jennings, Alicia Johal, Taranjit Johal, Ajanjot Ho Johal, George Johnson, Erin Jones, Termisha Kabilan, Amber Kaur Karlan, Navjot Singh Kailon, Jumana Kamali, Anna Katic, Anup Kaur, Jasleen Kaur, Priya Kaur, Rafjit Kaur, Simran Kaur, Samantha Keitale, Adebola Joko Kayode, Jemima Kazadi, Sun Yan Ki, Bo Hani Kempeneer, Megan Curley, Beverly Yvette Keza. Amara Khalifa. Amara Khalifa. Hafsa Khan. Rohana Khan. Tamima Kandaka. Lana Khatun. Ekno Ko Kayla. Maya Ko Kayla. Irham Mohammed Kimji. Aruj Kiani. Sephora Kieto Sukabita. Wichao Ko. Fiona Amensa Colcraft.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. Morning. Thank you for the correction. I'm glad you're with it. Is it still morning? I think so. It's been a long ceremony, but a wonderful one. So, welcome, everybody. What a room. Now, I know that some of you might have wanted to make a little bit noise for the graduates as they are now than you did when they were coming up. So family, friends, siblings, supporters, I want you to raise the roof on this building and make as much noise as you can for all our graduates at the back. Now raise the roof. That was pretty good. I'm really very impressed. I knew you had it in you. So my name is Sandy Okoro. It's a great honour for me to be Chancellor of this amazing university. And today, I'm not just the Chancellor, I'm also the godmother of one of the graduates today, Anna De Rosa. She's the one I gave a big hug to, and her parents, my best friend Ricky, are in the front row. So I know exactly what it feels like for all of you to be here to support your loved ones as they graduate today. In fact, virtually this time last year, I gave my son his degree on this stage. And there have been 3 generations of Okoros who've been through this amazing institution. My mother studied nursing at QE, my son did criminology here, and I did law and politics in the very law faculty I was giving the degrees to today. So it is such an honour and a privilege to be here in this capacity as Chancellor. I'm also the 8th Chancellor of the university in 125 years. That's not too many Chancellors, and the first female and the first black Chancellor. So it's wonderful. I've been Chancellor for 2 years now, and I never get tired of saying that because I love the reaction. Thank you for that. Graduates at the back, I know what it's like to be you. I know what it's like, as I said, to be family and friends sitting in the front row. And what a special day it is. And I know you can't wait to get out and hug everybody and start your celebrations. But bear with me for a little bit longer, because my role here today is to give our graduates a few words of inspiration before they leave this hall, and maybe to the family and friends as well. So bear with me for a while longer. So what I thought I would do today, graduates of 2026, I would tell you 3 things I wish I had been told when I was in your position many decades ago, clutching my certificate and ready to go out into the world. The first thing I wish I'd been told was to have the courage to be unapologetically me, a first-rate version of myself and not a second-rate version of someone else. Now, I know in these days of social media, we're flipping through TikTok, we're flipping through Instagram, and for the oldies in the audience, we're flipping through Facebook. And we're seeing all of this, and we're thinking everybody's life is so wonderful, everybody's life is so perfect. But, you know, it isn't. It really isn't. You may think everybody else has got life figured out except you. That is not true. No one has life figured out, trust me. We're figuring it out as we go along. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about looking at everybody's finished showreel as if that really is life. And yours is, the behind-the-scenes view. Don't worry about that. You don't have to be the finished product just yet. You are not behind, you are becoming. Remember that. You are always evolving. And that's the perfect place to be. Today is not a full stop in your life. It's the beginning of a new paragraph. And those paragraphs will continue and continue throughout your life. I certainly wasn't the finished product when I was in your position. I was full of dreams, full of ambition. And I'm still not the finished product today. But let me tell you something along the lines that happened to me when I first realized that I had to be unapologetically me. And that's to do with my surname, which is Okoro, O-K-O-R-O. Not the hardest name in the world to spell, or indeed the hardest name in the world to pronounce. But when I started my career in the late 80s, I was told, wanting to be a lawyer, if I wanted to succeed in the city, I would have to change my name because my name was too ethnic sounding. And I thought, oh, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. If someone doesn't want to employ me because of my name, which is so fundamental to my personality, my culture, my heritage, then I don't want to go and work for them. And let me tell you, I had a wonderful career in the city. That was rubbish advice, by the way. I've worked for some of the top British institutions, and I'm obviously now Chancellor of one of the top universities in the entire country. And my name, Okoro, is carved in marble outside here as the 8th Chancellor. So what I want to say to you, your heritage, your family name, your culture is not something to be set aside to make other people feel comfortable. Who you are is fundamental to who you will be. It's not something to be managed, not something to be changed. Just like my name is carved in marble, Yours has to be carved in your heart. So our message is to you. When someone tries to make you change to fit in, stand your ground. Love your culture. And by the way, you can have more than one culture. It's not a competition. Embrace your identity. Cherish your story. These are not obstacles to be overcome. They are your foundation. Never shrink who you are to fit in with somebody else's ideal of who you should be. If the room is too small for you, find another room. Find a bigger room. And guess what? The right room will never, ever require you to leave your identity at the door. The second thing I wish I'd known when I graduated is just how invaluable, truly invaluable, an education from an institution like this is. My father came from Nigeria and my mother came from Trinidad in the 50s. And I just want to stop and say something about that I always do at this point, just so everybody is totally clear, because it's often misunderstood. Yes, they are from that Windrush generation, but they were not a generation of immigrants. That's often misunderstood. They were British subjects. The countries they came from were British colonies at the time. So they came as British subjects. That's what they were called, also British citizens. So my grandparents, my parents, my great-grandparents were all British citizens. But they came here because, for education. My father came from rural Nigeria. Neither his parents could read or write. He was taught by the British missionaries, and he got a scholarship to the London School of Economics. And he always told me, Sandy, your education is the one thing no one can ever take away from you. And Nelson Mandela said the same thing. Not to me personally, by the way, but he said the same thing. He said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Now, my father understood this long before I did. I think it took me years to value the amazing education I'd been fortunate to have. And whatever happens in your life, and, things will not always go according to plan. Prepare yourself for it. But whatever happens, what you've learnt here and the rigour with which you have learnt it will always belong to you. Markets might rise and fall, governments might change, and jobs can come and go, and sometimes jobs might not even come. But no one can repossess your education. And I say to every parent, supporter, sibling in the front here, you may not have come up on stage in your gown and had an opportunity to shake my hand, but the love and support you've given to all the graduates mean you have had a part in their degrees too. And I want to say behind me to the lecturers, I don't think I appreciated them very much when I was here, but they are marvellous. They've been your supporters, these academics here, and I want you to give a big round of applause to them. I will bet you in the years to come, as your perspectives change, you will really appreciate what you've achieved here at the University of Birmingham and what it has given you and what this marvellous academic staff have given you as well. It will take time to appreciate that, trust me, but when you do and that light bulb goes on, you'll be, wow, I am the luckiest person in the world. The third and last thing I wish I had known is that it's okay to say yes when opportunity comes knocking, but you think you can't do it, and you fear doing it. That is exactly the time to say yes, when you fear it the most. When I was a student here, I had a tutor called Professor Appleby, who said, Sandy, you've got an opinion on everything. You're always talking, you're always contributing. Why don't you challenge that into debating? And I'd never really done debating before. And I thought, OK, I'll give it a go. And to be honest, I didn't really take it too seriously. Thought it was a bit of a joke, a bit of a laugh. And I started to win debates. And I started to win more debates. And was in a competition with my friend called Rob, and we did it across the country. And we were rather good at it. And I suddenly thought, you know what, I think I need to put some more effort into this. I think I need to put some more seriousness into it. And that's what I did. And that stood me in such good stead for the rest of my life, and my ability to use words to convince, to have impact on others, which is what you need to do as a lawyer. And that was from Professor Appleby. But if I had not said yes to his challenge, I don't know that I'd be doing what I'm doing today. And I remember many years later, I met a huge heroine of mine, Baroness Helena Kennedy, who is a very famous human rights lawyer. And sometimes it's not a good idea to meet your idols. They sometimes don't live up to it. But she certainly did. And she said to me, I said, have you got any advice for me, Helena, in my career? And she said, always say yes when you fear it the most. That will make the biggest difference in your life. She said, generally speaking, no one wants to set you up for failure. No one is asking you to do something to see you fail. They are asking you to do something to see you fly. And take that opportunity. So graduates, remember the answer is always yes. When you're least prepared for it is when you should do it. Don't be scared. Say yes to the opportunity, even if it doesn't quite feel right. Because the biggest moments of your life and the biggest moments of my life came with saying yes when I felt I wasn't ready. And you'll be surprised by what you can achieve. And I know we live in a time of AI at the moment that's scaring us and thinking, what's going to happen? Will there be any jobs? Let me just tell you something. Every generation had something they thought was going to change the world forever. In my generation, it was the arrival of the PC on the desk. When I was here at university, there were no laptops, there were no iPhones or anything like that. We actually had to write our exams and our notes and everything by hand and go to the library to look stuff up. So when the PC arrived, it was a bit of a shock. And everyone thought, it's going to take the jobs. Honestly, these things don't happen. But let me tell you, AI will write reports, AI will analyze data, and it can even compose music and solve problems at amazing speed. But there are things, graduates, it cannot be. It cannot be kind. You can be kind. It cannot be courageous. You can be courageous. It cannot build trust. You can build trust. And guess what? It cannot replace your judgment, your integrity, and your humanity. It cannot be you. And the world needs you. You are leaving the university today with something no technology can generate for you. You are leaving as a University of Birmingham graduate. And you've been shaped by this truly remarkable place, by the friendships you've built, by the setbacks you've overcome, and by the ideas you challenged. The world you are walking into, trust me, needs you. It needs your energy, it needs your compassion, it needs your curiosity, and it needs your courage. It needs people who will stand their ground, who will keep their names, who will use their education not simply to build successful careers, but to build a better world. Those who will say yes before they're ready. And let me tell you this, when life offers you a choice between betting against yourself and betting on yourself, please bet on yourself. Now, talking about betting on yourself, England are playing Norway on Saturday, and we're all going to bet on England, aren't we? Oh, yes, we are. Otherwise, I'm not going to let you out of the hall. We are. And you are taking your degrees today out of here, graduates. And England is going to bring the World Cup back to us on the 19th of July. I told you I have an opinion on everything. Come on, England. So graduates, wear your name with pride. As I said, stand your ground. Say yes before you're ready. And never forget that somewhere in this world, there is a room waiting for the best version of you that only you can be. So please, go and do us all proud. But more importantly, go do yourselves proud. Now, I write a little poem for each of the graduation ceremonies. This one is called Go Bet on Yourself. For those who follow me on TikTok, yes, your Chancellor is on TikTok. I'm a modern Chancellor. I do little pep talks on there. And this one is based on some of the things that I say on there. And it's called Go Bet on Yourself. As you leave these halls today, don't let your courage fade away. The road ahead won't always be clear. But don't let doubt become your fear. Remember where your story grew. This place believed in all of you. And let your values carry through. Wear your name with pride each day and never hide who you are away. Stand up tall, be strong, be kind. Lift those still a step behind. Some doors will close, that much is true, but others wait because of you. Keep knocking, keep taking that chance. Sometimes life begins with one brave glance. When fear says, wait, you're not enough, answer back, I'm made of tougher stuff. And when the world says, who are you? Smile and let your actions prove. So dream loud, stand strong, aim high, stretch yourself towards the sky. And when life asks what you should do, go bet on yourself and England too. Thank you very much. Congratulations, class of 2026. Okay. I declare the congregation closed.
The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni has come to an end. The procession begins to stream out of the Great Hall, carrying with them the maces that were set down at the start of the ceremony. It's a nice bit of visual poetry that bookends the ceremony. As those maces are carried forward, so too are our graduates onto their next adventure. This is a powerful moment for our graduates, representing the culmination of years of dedicated study. The education, connections, and friendships they have made at Birmingham will last a lifetime. The University of Birmingham is known for producing great thinkers, change makers, and innovators. From Nobel Prize winners to sporting champions, this institution has shaped minds that go on to make a real difference in the world. Today's graduates are stepping into that legacy, ready to make their mark, whether they're heading into research, launching businesses, or, let's be honest, finally taking a proper break before the next adventure begins. From the Great Hall to the wider world, our graduates will carry the knowledge, ambition, and spirit of Birmingham in their next chapter. Wherever you're watching from, this is not just an ending. It is the beginning of something exceptional. The live stream has now ended.